Imagine a world where India and Pakistan were never divided, an alternate history where over 1.7 billion people share one nation. This isn't just a geographical what-if, it's a question that reshapes global politics, economics, and culture. The Partition of 1947 was one of the most significant and traumatic events in modern history. It not only divided a land, but also tore apart families, communities, and shared histories. The subcontinent has been shaped by this division ever since. But what might have been if the two nations had remained one? The partition was rooted in the complex history of the British Raj, which ruled over India for nearly 2 centuries. By the early 20th century, calls for independence had grown louder, but the movement was fractured by differing visions for the future. Religious and cultural divides between Hindus and Muslims, compounded by years of British policies that emphasized these differences, led to increasing tensions. Ultimately, the decision to partition the country was driven by fears of political marginalization among Muslims and demands for an independent state from leaders like Muhammad Ali Jinnah. The separation was hastily executed, resulting in mass migrations, communal violence, and the deaths of hundreds of thousands. Economically, the subcontinent was left scarred, with new nations scrambling to build their infrastructures from scratch. If the partition had never occurred, the combined population of India and Pakistan today would exceed 1.7 billion, making it the largest country in the world by population. Managing such a diverse and multi-religious society would be a monumental task. However, a united nation might have fostered greater cultural exchange, with shared traditions blending into an even richer tapestry of art, music, and cuisine. Without the animosity bred by division, the possibility of reduced ethnic and religious divides could have emerged. A shared identity, nurtured over decades, might have paved the way for tolerance and unity. Yet the challenges of governing such a diverse population cannot be understated. Balancing the needs of different communities would demand exceptional leadership and robust systems of inclusion. A united India and Pakistan would have faced significant political challenges. Would they have functioned as a single centralized government, or adopted a federal system that granted autonomy to its diverse regions? Representation for all religious and ethnic groups would have been a critical concern, and the risk of internal conflicts would remain high. On the global stage, this hypothetical nation would likely have been a powerhouse. Its sheer size, combined with abundant natural resources and military strength, could have positioned it as a global leader. Foreign policy might have leaned toward neutrality, similar to India's non-aligned stance during the Cold War, or a more assertive approach as a dominant Asian power. Such a nation could have played a pivotal role in shaping the modern geopolitical landscape, rivaling powers like the United States and China. A united India and Pakistan could have been an economic giant. With a combined workforce of over 1 billion people and vast natural resources, this hypothetical nation would have immense potential for industrial and agricultural growth. Regions rich in natural resources, like Pakistan's vast reserves of coal and natural gas, combined with India's thriving technology and service sectors, could create a diversified and resilient economy. The absence of prolonged conflict zones and reduced defense spending would free up billions of dollars for infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Trade routes within the subcontinent would thrive, connecting regions seamlessly and boosting commerce. However, challenges would remain. Balancing development between industrialized areas and less developed regions, such as parts of rural Pakistan and India, would require equitable policies and long-term planning. On the global stage, a united India and Pakistan could have been a formidable geopolitical force. Its geographic location, spanning from the Himalayas to the Arabian Sea, would make it a critical player in Asia. With a combined military and nuclear arsenal, this nation could rival China as the dominant power in the region, potentially creating a balance of power in Asia. Diplomatically, a united subcontinent could leverage its massive population, economic strength, and cultural influence to secure a permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. However, rivalries with neighboring nations like China might still persist, as both would vie for influence in Asia and beyond. With such strength, this nation could redefine global politics, acting as a bridge between the East and West. A united India and Pakistan might have spared the region from decades of conflict and warfare. Without the wars of 1947, 1965, 1971, and Kargil, millions of lives could have been saved, and resources diverted toward nation-building rather than destruction. The focus could shift to addressing social issues like poverty, education, and healthcare across the subcontinent. However, managing interreligious harmony in such a diverse society would be a continuous challenge. While the absence of partition might reduce historical grievances, tensions could still arise, necessitating strong governance and inclusive policies. Social welfare programs catering to diverse communities would play a critical role in fostering unity and stability. The cultural contributions of a united India and Pakistan would be unparalleled. The shared history of Bollywood and Pakistan's thriving music industry could lead to a cultural renaissance, with cinema, music, and art blending influences from across the subcontinent. Artists and performers from both sides could collaborate freely, enriching global culture. Historical landmarks, from the Taj Mahal to Mohenjo-daro, would stand as symbols of a shared heritage, uniting people in pride for their history. Linguistic and literary collaborations would thrive, with writers and scholars working across borders to preserve and expand the subcontinent's rich traditions. This cultural synergy could solidify the nation's identity and bolster its influence worldwide. While the idea of a united India and Pakistan holds immense potential, the reality of governing such a vast and diverse nation would be fraught with challenges. One of the primary obstacles would be creating a governance structure that balances regional autonomy with central authority. A centralized government might struggle to address the unique needs of each region, while a highly decentralized system could lead to inefficiency and fragmentation. Finding the right balance would require visionary leadership and an inclusive political framework that gives every region and community a voice. Religious and cultural tensions would also pose significant challenges. Despite shared histories, the deep-rooted divisions between religious communities, which led to the partition in the first place, would still need to be addressed. Preventing communal conflicts and fostering interfaith harmony would require robust policies, community engagement, and a commitment to secular governance. Without these, the dream of unity could devolve into unrest and division. Economic disparity between regions would be another critical issue. Historically, some areas like Punjab and Gujarat have been more economically prosperous, while others, such as parts of rural Pakistan and eastern India, have lagged behind. Ensuring equitable resource allocation and development opportunities across all regions would be essential to prevent resentment and unrest. Policies aimed at reducing economic inequality, along with investment in education and infrastructure, would be crucial to maintaining national cohesion. The question of what might have been if India and Pakistan had never separated opens up a world of possibilities, both inspiring and daunting. From becoming an economic and cultural powerhouse to grappling with immense governance and social challenges, the story of a united subcontinent is a fascinating what if. If you enjoyed this thought experiment, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more intriguing explorations, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let us know in the comments, what do you think a united India and Pakistan would look like? We'd love to hear your thoughts.